Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Seiken Densetsu 3. Last time I class changed. I really wanted to show me class changing, and I was recording, and for some reason there was staticky noise in the background, and I noticed it, and I was like, ah, shit. And then I basically had to delete the recording, because otherwise, I mean, it was really bad. So, unfortunately, you missed me changing into a Nightblade, but we shall survive. At least it wasn't like you missed me doing an entire God Beast dungeon or anything. Anyway, major plans is that whenever you get to a final class, you really should. Your first priority should be increasing your vitality by 2. The reason why is because almost everyone starts off with 15 vitality. But anyway, the point is that when you get to your final class, your defense maxes out at 300. So if you increase your vitality by 2 and you get your final armor, your defense will be at 300. And then for increasing your vitality anymore would be pointless and useless, and there's no point to it, so just don't do it. And increasing your vitality by 2 will be our first ability. And I would just like to say this right now, I absolutely love Split Image Strike. I mean, I was having so much fun with it. Oh, it was amazing. But, nonetheless, really? I mean, come on, you should have been able to kill her by now. Okay, so let's move up, mosey on up here and start dancing apparently, and Grill Mage, another Final Fantasy. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. For this area, I found out a nice little trick that many people don't know. Turns out they can only have one status ailment at a time. And you may be wondering, okay, so what's the big deal about that? Well, if you remember, we have a Chibiko hammer, which automatically inflicts us with a Chibiko status, and if we're a Chibiko, then removes it from our status, I guess you could say. Basically, it heals us. So really, I mean, you don't need Poi Poi Grass, because if you get anything like poison or silence, for example, there's lots of enemies here that will silence you. You can just use Poi Fire Grass, and you'll instantly be completely cured. The Chibiko ham, I mean, it takes a little longer, but you never ever have to worry about running out. So I'm just gonna go with that. What's really good is that with the Split Image Strike, you really don't have to worry about these guys evolving. I mean, it's only happened when I haven't used my Split Image Strike. Okay, now, as soon as I say that, it happens. What the fuck? And then that happens. Oh my god, what has happened? That's what happens when you say stuff like that. It just automatically goes wrong. Well, nonetheless, let's just mosey on. Now anyway, the light dungeon, in my opinion, has to be the easiest. And while we're talking about light dungeons and Huck's final class, you may be wondering why I chose the Nightblade. Well, first of all, the Nightblade is like insanely popular. Seriously, everyone loves Nightblades, because they are like the most amazing class ever. But the main reason why I want the Nightblade is, first of all, he has blonde hair. That's not the main reason, but well, the Nightblade does have blonde hair. His strength, his stats are like insanely high, right? And we want a good strength score, because otherwise we're going to be doing less damage. It's just good to have a good strength score. I mean, it just is. It's a nice idea. You really should have a nice strength score, especially when playing by yourself, because, you know, you want to be able to kill your enemies faster so you don't take as much damage. Oh, you know, you are really annoying. Yes, you are. You are a very annoying person. And while the Wanderer and the Rogue, for example, have really good abilities, I'm just not going to be using it. I'd rather have the Nightblade, personally. I mean, you can play as the Rogue, especially because the Rogue has spells that can really help you out. No sabers, unfortunately. I would have really liked having a Moon Saber. Especially as Hawk. But I mean, you get a nice attack bonus, you know, you have 2 attacks, so that means you're doing 2 times as damage. It's really freaking nice. Not to mention, Nightblade has a full screen tech, which is really, really good, especially in a single character challenge. It's your best way of clearing screens. Literally. But that's not the point. So my general tactics for really the rest of the game in fighting will be to actually get split image strike, and then if any of them are surviving afterwards, just use backslice, because really his second level tech isn't that good at all. It really isn't. It's pretty terrible. I mean, it's nice thought, but no, just, I mean, it's bad. Use backslice or whatever. It's a lot better. Anyway, so here we get another sword master type, the Silver Knight, which is, in my opinion, the weakest of the whole bunch. The reason why is because they don't get any full screen clear attack like everyone else that can totally decimate you and is way overpowered. Instead, they get heal lights, which makes them still pretty annoying, but not nearly as annoying as, let's say, the Sword Master with his Vacuum Sword, or the Whirlwind Sword, or later on, the Eruption Sword. Oh, I'm not looking forward to the Eruption Sword. So, another little thing, if you are really not into, if you don't want to waste that much time level grinding, okay, except that, but that's not nearly as bad as the others, if you ask me. They do have their magic circle cut, but at this point, I mean, personally, I recommend you be level 38 and get your class changed before fighting the final god beast. It's just a personal preference. You don't have to. I mean, you could very easily not be level 38 if you're playing through this normally. Single character challenge, I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're playing as Hawk. I mean, you need everything you can get. I mean, there's no reason not to. Because you're going to have to level grind anyway. I mean, you might as well make it easier on yourself now instead of making it hard on yourself later and having to do all the level grinding there. Stop maturing! Die as infants! That's another little interesting story there. I was watching YouTube, because that's all I do, is watch YouTube, because I'm a complete loser. I don't watch TV, no, I watch YouTube, damn it. I watch Let's Plays. And other stuff. Oh god, we're being eaten alive. But, cough, cough. I wouldn't really be surprised if I, like, got deathly ill tomorrow, but... Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, come on. I lost subject. Oh, I remember now. So, there was this commercial for, I think it was fleece mattresses, I can't remember. But what the commercial was, is it had these couples laying in a bed, staring at each other, panting like dogs, you know, like they just had sex. And it showed a couple of couples like this. A couple of couples, look at me, being all funny. Haha, I'm so witty. I'm so witty. But, anyway, and then at the very end of it, it's like, on our it's like anything you do on our mattresses we approve, or something silly like that. So instantly my mind goes into terrible things like murder and rape and bestiality and necrophilia and all kinds of stuff, and I'm just like, wow, that's kind of sick, you know? They're like, oh, it's okay as long as you're abusing it in our beds, we don't care. You rape that girl. I really shouldn't be thinking about that, but I thought it was funny, you know? I mean, really, you think they would be kind of smarter about that. I wonder if the employer who thought that idea got fired. I don't know. Obviously not. I mean, they actually showed it, so... Anyway, there is a little puzzle to this dungeon, if you didn't know. Which, if you didn't know, then why the hell are you watching this? Seriously, people playing this the first time should not do a single character challenge. They shouldn't, unless they're using a guide, and that really kills the experience. But anyway, there's a little note there that says there are 2 tablets, left one is light, right one is etched out. I wonder what it could be. So obviously you use Wisp and you use Shade because, you know, darkness opposite of light. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. I mean, really, you should know this. And if you don't, then that means this is your first time, and shame on you. Shame on you, shame. Feel the shame. Oh my, I mean, look at that. It's like they all just die right there. It's like a battle ender. It's like, oh my god, I feel like I'm one of those fucking master ninjas now. Or ninjas. Or... I feel like I'm one of those swordsmen who keep freaking raping the entire screen with their whirlwind sword, or vortex, or vacuum sword, or whatever you want to call it. The freaking endless amounts of bullshit coming from that. Okay, really? And I'm sorry, that's just kind of creepy. Look at that creepy Pakun dragon. He's so creepy. He's so creepy. Split image strike for the win. I feel like saying split image splice, like splices. Splices. Oh, I can't say that right. Damn it. So, continuing on with random subjects that no one wants to listen to. Apparently my girlfriend has decided that I'm either Megatron or Starscream. And I kind of would see myself more as Starscream because, well, yeah. And so one day she was teasing me about it. So I watched the Transformers cartoons, like, very rarely, but I still had a kind of an image or an idea of what Starscream sounds like. So just for fun and kicks and stuff, I try out a Starscream impersonation. And she's like, it's okay, but you really should make it more high-pitched. Well, so I went a little bit more high-pitched, and she was like, oh my god, that's like spot on. And she was like all freaking out and shit, and it was hilarious. But that's not the point. Seriously, I'm coughing like a hell of a lot. Like, I'm clearing my throat. I'm gonna get sick, I know it. Because I saw a friend of mine earlier today around like noon, and she was like deathly ill. So I wouldn't really be surprised if I get deathly ill soon, and that's gonna really suck tomorrow because I actually have plans tomorrow. Yes, I have plans. I have plans. And you may be wondering what my plans are. Well, if everything goes swell tomorrow, I might actually get a capture card for once. And if I actually get a capture card, guess what that means? That's right. That is correct. Let's plays that aren't on emulators. That would be amazing, wouldn't it?